Welcome out to the show, guys. This is Studio 321. This is your podcast host, Eddie B, coming at you from the 321. So Andrew Tate, right? Very controversial guy, podcaster. He's always getting in some stuff on the internet. He lives in Romania, was arrested on all that stuff, those human trafficking charges and all that stuff, which was turned out to look like it was just fake. But a very controversial guy. Him and his brother Tristan Tate, very bombastic. Driving Bugattis around. You know how that goes. So, but something I want to talk about today, and because I don't think he gets any credit on stuff, and I don't want to touch on that today. So, going back, anybody that doesn't know who he is, I started listening to him back during the COVID times because, we all had a lot of free time. So I started listening to him, and, he owns some casinos over in Romania, and he's a multimillionaire, very flashy, drives Bugattis around everywhere he goes, and, beautiful women smoking cigars, that type of scene. So, obviously a lot of people hated him. He's just very, very outspoken on the way he does things. So during the whole COVID time, we were in this whole lefty weirdo bubble. Like, I don't even know I don't know what history is going to call this period of time that we just came out of, but it's not going to be good. But anyways, we were in this whole, man-hating, gender, DEI, all this weird stuff going on. So part of that whole program was the lefties were running around, clubbing men on the head, talking about, toxic masculinity and boys are bad and all this just crazy stuff. And, it was ridiculous. So, and you weren't getting much pushback on that. But that's the thing I wanted to talk about Andrew Tate today for. And again, I know a lot of people hate him. Sometimes he says stuff that I don't like that's over the top, or maybe I disagree with it. But this is what he did do, and he deserves a lot of credit for this. He was standing up for young men and boys the entire time that all these other cowards were not saying a word. Okay. And he was doing it pretty much basically alone. Now, there was a few guys out there doing the same, but not very many. So I had been listening to him, and I'm a grown man. So, I don't need a lot of guidance in my life anymore as far as that goes. But I thought to myself, what if you're a 15 or 14-year-old boy, and your mind's running 100 miles an hour anyways, all the time. You don't know which direction you're going in. And then you got all these sick-minded weirdos out there calling you names, saying you're terrible, you're toxic, that being men is toxic, and all this. It was just, I don't even know I don't even know where that comes from, or what you want to call it, but it was bad. So imagine just being that young man having to deal with that all day. Well, and it was coming from everywhere. So then on the other side of that, you've got Andrew Tate, who is zooming around the country, in beautiful cars, hanging out with beautiful women, smoking cigars, and saying basically, hey, don't apologize for being a man. Just be a man. Be who you are, and grow up that way. And that's what being a man is. And I agree with him. Again, if you listen to the people on the left of what they're saying about men and boys, it's just terrible. They just hate, but they hate everything. They hate themselves. They hate men. They hate everything. They hate the environment. They just hate everything. So it's just a toxic bullhorn, in a constant barrage. But he was the voice in the other direction. And, I got to give him respect for that. I don't care what he says that I don't agree with. I give him respect for what he did there. Because again, now with that culture starting to kind of fade out, you got all these guys coming out saying, yeah, this and that. But no, where were they when the lefties were just on constant attack? Well, Andrew Tate was standing up in the middle of all of it. He went to jail for it because that whole jail thing that he was in for 6 months over there, the human trafficking thing, that all magically disappeared, and now he just got off a house arrest. So he's in the clear. So basically, what that tells you is some officials in Romania were paid off to put this guy away for a while, to try to keep him silenced, and it didn't work at all because he's louder than ever. But he deserves respect for that. Anybody who will stand up in the face of all that drama, go to jail, risk their lives basically. He lost a lot of his wealth. I know they confiscate a lot of his stuff. I don't know if he's going to get any of that stuff back. Probably not in Romania, because I can't imagine the government's straight line over there. And he risked a lot of stuff for what he said, and he kept on saying it anyways. And that's braver than most men that I know. So respect Andrew Tate. Again, just keep on, man. I know, again, a lot of the stuff he says sometimes, I don't agree with as well, but it doesn't matter. He's out there saying what he believes, and he has helped a lot of young men get through these tough times of just getting picked on. And on that note, I'm just so glad that this whole bubble's bursting, that we're coming out of this trance, or whatever you want to call it. It's been on for like I would say it's been on for the last 5 years. It was just ridiculous. We can get back to normal life. Boys can grow up to be men, girls can grow up to be women, and we can just get back to normal stuff again. We played the weirdo card for a little while, and it just didn't work out. So, but anyways, guys, I want to put that out there. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. Shoot me a comment. This is Eddie from 321 Studios, and talk to you soon. You guys have a good day. Be safe.